Hi, I'm Rebecca Rosen, a spiritual medium and best-selling author. Welcome to my podcast, Small, Medium, at Large. Although small in stature, I've been taking on the big and unusual job of talking to the dead for over 20 years. I serve as a messenger for spirit, helping people to connect to their departed loved ones and guides, while also encouraging them to strengthen their own intuition. Vanna White quickly became a household name when she was named co-host of Wheel of Fortune in 1982. Growing up in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Vanna never dreamed that one day she would be a pop culture icon. After attending the Atlanta School of Fashion Design and becoming one of the area's top models, she moved to Los Angeles to pursue an acting career. Soon after her move to LA, she was awarded her position on Wheel of Fortune. Since her debut on the show, she has appeared in almost 7,000 episodes of America's Game. With her success, Vanna has given back to those in need. She has worked on projects for American Cancer Society, Rebuilding Together, Feeding America, and St. Jude's Children's Hospital. I've known Vanna for over a decade and consider her to be one of my soul sisters and dearest friends. She defines what it means to be gracious, humble, and kind, and I am so very excited to welcome her to the podcast as we do a deep dive into spirit signs and synchronicity. Hello, Vanna. I'm so excited to be able to do this podcast interview with you, and I've been looking forward to this episode so much for so many reasons, and I'm just really appreciative that you decided to do this.
Well, it is my pleasure. I know that we have known each other for a while, and you have done several readings with me. And I kind of wanted to talk about some of it and some of the signs that how you help validate things. I don't know how to describe it, but I'm just thrilled to be here and to be able to share with everybody out there about what incredible work you do.
Oh, thank you. Absolutely. We need to talk about signs because that has been such a big part of our connection. And I just want to say that, if people have followed me, we've talked about you have a ground crew, just like you have a team in spirit, right? And yes. The ground crew are people in this world that are like your earth angels. And you are definitely one of those for me. And the synchronicity behind how our paths crossed, 15 years ago.
Yes.
Was really mind-blowing. Do you want to share?
I would absolutely love to. Well, it started out, I was at my manicurist getting a manicure, and she was telling me about this amazing medium psychic. And I said, oh, well, can I call her? So I did, and that person was you. And then what? So I would talk to you once a year. So we do some readings, and then a couple years go by, and you assumed that I got your number through our executive producer, Harry Friedman from Wheel of Fortune, because your dad and him were best friends.
Yes, Harry lived with my dad for his senior year in high school. That's how close they were.
Amazing, but that is not how we connected.
No,
we connected through my manicurist, which is so unusual. It was meant to be.
It really was meant to be. And, I have always felt like my dad and your mom in spirit are buddies, and they are up there, orchestrating, for you and I to be each other's messengers.
Yes.
There have been so many times, ironically, I've been yours, but you've been mine.
Well, that makes me feel so good.
Yeah, absolutely. You know how many times you'll just text me or check your email, check in. How are you? I'm like, I can't believe this. I dreamt about you last night. You're checking in now, right? And then you end up helping to comfort or guide or validate me.
Oh,
but isn't it amazing?
That's how it works, right? For some reason, when I get around you or we talk or whatever, you bring this spirituality, or you bring something out in me that is almost magical. I don't know how to describe it, but just like you're saying, I can feel certain things. And that's why I reach out to you.
Right.
Mind.
Well, you know what I love about that is that it just reminds all of us that we all have the gift of intuition, right? We all have the ability to connect with our loved ones in spirit and our guides and angels. And then they in turn oftentimes use all of us as messengers for each other.
Yes.
Right? And
Yeah.
I've noticed with you over the years that you've gotten so much more trusting of your own, intuitive hits.
Well, you've helped me with that. I remember in the very beginning, one of the first things you said to me, when you see 444, it's a sign from your mother saying she's with you. Well, I have had probably a million 444s since the
I
time I
know.
first met you. But literally the day after we had our reading, that night I woke up at 4:44 in the morning.
Wow.
The next day, I'm cleaning out a drawer that I haven't cleaned out for 5 years. I had a stack of papers probably 3 inches high, and I pick up the papers, and across the top of the page is 4444444. Like 10
Wow.
fours. It's like, okay, I get it. This is a sign.
Yeah,
So when you become aware of a sign and accept it, they just start coming to you.
yes, yes. Because the more you believe, the more the spirits and the more open and receptive you are, the more they want to expend the energy, right? It's not a waste of energy. And
Yeah.
so the more signs they start to give you.
Yeah.
So this morning, let's talk about that. So
Okay.
I'm driving to work and, I have some readings and then you and I were going to get on this podcast and do our interview. And I was behind 444. So I sent you a text and you wrote back.
I wrote that. I said, that's so funny. This morning, I went to turn off the outside light, the night light. I turned it off. It came back on. I turned it off. It came back on 3 times. That never happens. I automatically thought, oh, I'm talking to Rebecca today. That's my mother saying, hey, I have something to say to you. I'm going to be with you today.
Exactly. And then you go on a walk.
Then I go on a walk in the neighborhood, and what do I find on the ground but a dime? Now, pennies and dimes is another sign for me. And there we go. I don't know if I've ever found a dime walking in this neighborhood, and I've lived here for years. It's like, okay, Mom, I know.
Well, okay. So, and the other crazy thing we discovered just a couple years ago is that pennies and dimes are my sign from my dad.
So,
right. And
yes.
so often before I come out to Los Angeles and I'm going to come stay with you, you have found a penny or a dime or both somewhere random in your house.
On the stairs.
Right.
On the stairs. I don't even use change. How are a penny and dime sitting on my stairs?
It's so amazing. It's so amazing.
Crazy.
And spirits can move matter. They can manipulate objects to let us know they're around. And that's obviously what they're doing.
Well, I don't want anybody to be afraid of that. Don't worry.
Right.
It's like, oh, these ghosts are coming and doing these
Right.
things. It's a positive thing.
And it's comforting. And it's, you can feel the difference between ghost energy, strangers, spirits, earthbound spirits that you don't know versus your loved ones, your team in spirit. It's very different.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I love that. So tell us the story. You just have to share this about on your mom's birthday.
Yes. Another set, 444. I was playing gin with my daughter, and we were playing it. Well, when you play with cards, I have a hand that has 4 4s. It's like, it's my mother's birthday, and here I am playing cards, and there's 4 4 4 4. It's like she was playing with us.
She was playing with you. And that's ultimately what they want us to know, is that they're still living with us, alongside us, part of, little moments, big moments, all of it.
And they mean so much to me. It makes me feel like my mom is still with me.
I love that, because she was, really young when she passed away.
She was 44.
Wow. Oh,
maybe.
Oh my gosh.
That's where the 4
Did you ever I never put that together. That's amazing. That's probably why that's amazing.
Isn't it?
Okay, there you go. So 444 in general means your angels are with you. In this case, it's your angels and your mother acting as one of your angels.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. So I was going to say, I was going to ask you how loss has impacted your life. When you reached out to me initially, what was your intention or motivation behind that?
It was to help me maybe get in touch with my loved ones that have passed on to the other side. I mean, maybe that sounds kind of weird, but I felt like I could get some comfort from you, that perhaps you could tell me something. I feel like you are a person in between that can talk to these spirits and give people who have lost loved ones comfort, because that's exactly what you did with me.
I
I've
love
lost
that.
my mother. I've lost a lot of people. Even I lost a boyfriend in a plane crash. He came through with you, John.
You
Uh,
know, I remember that. That was like one of the first readings. And you know what's so amazing about that is that God has a plan. And, you know, sometimes we can't see the bigger picture, and the readings help give us greater faith and trust that there is a divine reason and purpose to everything we go through. So you lost this significant love,
yes.
John, and then you years later come together with another significant soulmate, John,
Yes. Yes.
right? And that was your mother and John's spirit bringing you, you know, this new chapter with another John.
Yes, I remember you telling me also one time that John, who has passed away, you said, John is telling me that your current John is the brunette version of me.
Oh, that's funny. I don't remember because I don't remember the readings, but
Of course, but
yeah,
yes, you did say that. So that he brought this John to me, and the
that
only difference was that he was brunette because my other John was blonde.
that's amazing.
Yeah, so it just made me feel
Wow.
good, and it made me feel like everything was right. And
I love that.
I
Thank
felt
you.
closure too, by the way. I felt closure with him. You know, you said he was
Good.
okay, and he's watching over, he's still here watching over me too. So
Right. And yeah, checking in on you as needed, but you know, we were able to bring that closure. Well, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. That is why I do what I do. And more importantly, you know, again, I want to just remind anyone listening, like that we can all do this for ourselves. Some of us have a heightened gift and can do it for other people, like myself.
yes.
But nobody has a closer, stronger connection to your own loved ones in spirit and your own intuition than you do. And so I guess I would ask you, you know, we're in really interesting times, to
Yeah.
say the least, and there's a lot of fear and a lot of doubt and uncertainty in the world. What advice would you give listeners on things that they can do to stay in a place of faith and trust, or any like tools or practices you do daily to stay grounded and out of fear and keep your vibe high?
Well, I try to get out of the house and go for a walk or something. Just do some exercise or something to release all that pinned up stuff that we have inside. I in the morning before I get out of bed, I usually pray and thank God for the good things that I have in my life and to protect my family and things like that. So just, I think being in touch with yourself and your higher being, whoever it may be, I just think reaching out to them and having someone to talk to so you don't feel like you're alone,
Right.
is helpful. Um,
Yeah.
you
So I
know,
think, yeah. So it's finding ways that work for you know, individually, because we're all wired differently and there's not a
yeah,
one size fits all, but to stay grounded
yes.
and connected, right?
Yes. And also do something to get your mind off of it. Play a game with the family. You know,
Mhm.
I haven't played Parcheesi in probably 35 years, and my son and daughter are home with me now. So we like
I
play
love
Parcheesi. It's just fun. It's a family time. It's take advantage of this. We all have to stay at home right now, so take advantage and
that.
spend more
Right.
time with the family and do fun things.
You know, another silver lining, for, myself included, right? It's like we're forced to change the way we do things. And for me, I'm not traveling, so I'm staying home with my kids. And I've loved every second of it. You
Yes.
know, so much so that even if things go back to normal, whatever that is, I don't know that I will, you know,
Right.
it's
Yes.
pretty amazing. And the other thing is, I think just being present, you know, when we're present, we're not in our head worrying about what's next, the future.
Yes.
or lost in thought about the past, regrets, guilt, shame.
Yes.
So I think that's a great point, is just do things that bring you joy in the now, keep you present, right? And that right there keeps you in a place of love and out of fear.
Yes. And stay positive.
Yeah. It's mind over matter, right? It's so true though. Our thoughts create our reality. What you think about expands law of attraction.
Yes.
Well, you are definitely one of my favorite people on the planet. You really have been a role model to me on what it looks like to stay grounded, humble, and kind. You truly are one of the kindest people I know.
Oh.
And just by being you, that feels like, for me, with the readings I've done for you, it feels like that is your purpose. You're such a bright light for so many people. So thank you for just being you.
Thank you, Rebecca, so much.
Absolutely.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you so much. All right.
Don't put your ponytail up and put your jammies on.
Take my makeup off.
Yeah.
You too.
All right.
All right. Love you.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks for joining me for this episode of Small Medium at Large. To register for one of my Rebecca Rosen live online events or virtual small group readings, and to sign up for my newsletter, please visit my website, RebeccaRosen.com. There you will also find additional resources for your spiritual journey, including my self-guided courses, books, and blog videos. You can also follow me on social media by searching @Medium Rebecca Rosen on Facebook and Instagram. As always, wishing you brightest blessings and all love.